Welcome to the BTS Lover channel, a place where every moment, spotlight, and behind the scenes, story from the worlds of fashion and global stars is wrapped in curiosity and excitement. Today, public attention once again turns to a prestigious event that was meant to showcase a new collection, but instead left a big question mark in the minds of fans around the world. That night, the glow of city lights blended with the endless clicks of cameras. The Celine fashion show returned in its signature luxury, bringing together elegance and sophistication under one roof. Guests from around the world arrived in their finest looks, creating a sea of style that was impossible to ignore. Yet among the many high-profile names and refined outfits, two figures stood out from the very moment they arrived. Taehyung and Suzy appeared separately, without any announcement, without any hint that the night would soon become a global talking point. Both carried an equally strong aura, calm, elegant, and filled with charisma. There were no exaggerated gestures, no deliberate attempts to steal the spotlight, and perhaps that was exactly what made the moment so intriguing. Guests soon began to sense something difficult to put into words. A brief glance caught by the camera, a subtle smile appearing almost simultaneously, and body language that felt effortlessly natural. All of it happened amid the bustle of the event, seemingly unplanned yet far too harmonious to be dismissed as mere coincidence. At first, many assumed it was simply a trick of camera angles or the heightened imagination of attentive fans. But as more video clips and photos circulated, it became harder to ignore the warmth of familiarity that seemed to linger between them. It wasn't a flashy or dramatic closeness, but rather a quiet sense of comfort, something that usually appears only when two people already share a level of familiarity. Inside the venue, the atmosphere grew even more intriguing. Several eyewitnesses noted that their interaction appeared relaxed, lacking the stiffness often seen at formal gatherings. There were no long conversations clearly captured, but it was precisely those small, fleeting moments that fueled curiosity. A light nod, a smile without an obvious reason, expressions that looked noticeably softer than usual. As the fashion show continued, models walked the runway one by one, yet the audience's focus had already begun to drift. Social media buzzed even before the event ended. The names Taehyung and Suzy steadily climbed to the top of trending searches. Comments flooded in, some filled with excitement, others with surprise, and many attempting to interpret the meaning behind every second of interaction caught on camera. What stood out most was how both Taehyung and Suzy maintained their professionalism. There was no visible attempt to seek attention, nor any sign of discomfort under the growing spotlight. In fact, their calm composure only deepened public curiosity. Was this simply an encounter between two fashion icons, or was there another story quietly unfolding beneath the surface? As the event came to an end, the questions only multiplied. They left the venue in their own ways, yet the impression of their presence lingered strongly in the public's mind. The night may have concluded, but the conversation was just beginning. Fans meticulously analyzed every detail, from outfit choices and facial expressions to brief moments deemed too perfectly timed to ignore. To this day, there has been no official statement, no clarification, and no confirmation of any kind. Yet it is precisely this silence that keeps the story alive. The Celine fashion show, initially meant to be remembered for its latest collection, will now also be recalled as the night when two major stars created a gentle yet puzzling question mark. As discussions continued to ripple across platforms, many fans began revisiting past moments, interviews, and public appearances, searching for any subtle connections that might now seem meaningful in hindsight. Every old clip was rewatched, every past interaction, no matter how distant in time, was brought back into conversation. What once felt ordinary suddenly gained new significance, as if the Celine fashion show had quietly opened a door to endless interpretations. Fashion insiders, meanwhile, offered a different perspective. Some suggested that the atmosphere of global fashion events often creates a unique space where artists naturally connect. These shows are not merely about clothes, they are about shared experiences, creative energy, and the unspoken bond that forms among those who stand at the center of global attention. In such a setting, a simple smile or relaxed gesture can easily appear more meaningful than intended. Yet even this explanation did little to calm the curiosity of fans. The reason was simple. Both Taehyung and Suzy are known for their composed and reserved public personas. Any moment that seems to break from that norm, even slightly, instantly draws attention. Their calm demeanor at the show, combined with the quiet sense of ease between them, felt different enough to spark speculation but subtle enough to remain open to interpretation. What made the situation even more compelling was the complete absence of commentary from both sides. No quick denial, no playful acknowledgement, no attempt to steer the narrative in any direction. In the age of instant responses and rapid clarifications, silence itself becomes a statement, or at least it feels that way to the public. And so, the story continued to grow, fueled not by facts, but by imagination. Observers also noted how the moment aligned perfectly with the image both stars carry. Taehyung, often praised for his artistic depth and quiet charm, and Suzy, admired for her elegance and gentle presence, seemed to embody the very mood of the Celine brand that night. Their individual styles complemented the event seamlessly, making their shared presence feel almost cinematic, as if it belonged naturally to the scene. As days passed, the topic remained alive. Articles, fan discussions, and reaction videos continued to appear, each offering a new angle, a new theory, or simply an appreciation of how captivating the moment felt. Some chose to see it as nothing more than a beautiful coincidence, while others viewed it as proof that certain connections don't need to be loud to be powerful. Amid all this, one thing remained clear: the fascination was not rooted in scandal, but in subtlety. There were no dramatic headlines born from controversy, no shocking revelations. Instead, it was the quietness of the moment, the restraint, the elegance, the unanswered questions that kept people talking. In a world saturated with noise, this gentle mystery stood out. Whether time will eventually bring clarity or whether the moment will simply fade into memory remains uncertain. Fashion shows come and go, trends evolve, and public attention often shifts quickly to the next headline. Still, some moments linger longer than expected, not because of what was said or done, but because of what was left unsaid. For now, the Celine fashion show stands as more than just another high-profile event. It has become a chapter remembered for its atmosphere, its understated tension, and the fleeting interaction that captured the imagination of many. Taehyung and Suzy, knowingly or not, created a moment that resonated far beyond the runway, and perhaps that is the true power of such encounters. They remind us that not every story needs a clear beginning or an obvious ending. Sometimes, all it takes is a brief glance, a shared space, and a sense of harmony to leave a lasting impression, one that continues to invite curiosity long after the lights have dimmed and the final walk down the runway has ended. As the conversation gradually matured, many fans began to reflect on why this particular moment felt so compelling compared to countless other celebrity encounters. Perhaps it was because there was no forced narrative, no obvious attempt to create headlines. The interaction unfolded naturally, allowing people to project their own interpretations onto it. In doing so, the moment became personal for many, less about speculation and more about emotion. Cultural commentators also weighed in, suggesting that the fascination stemmed from the shared stature of both figures. Taehyung and Suzy represent different yet overlapping worlds: music, acting, and fashion, each with global influence. When such figures appear within the same frame, even briefly, the impact often feels larger than the moment itself. It becomes symbolic, a meeting of two distinct yet harmonious energies. Interestingly, the lack of clarity did not lead to disappointment. Instead, it seemed to deepen appreciation. Fans expressed admiration for how both stars maintained dignity and grace amid intense scrutiny. There was a sense of mutual respect in how the public discussion evolved, focusing more on atmosphere and presence rather than invasive speculation. In that sense, the story remained gentle, never crossing into negativity. Over time, attention slowly began to settle. Though the memory lingered, the clips were saved, the photos archived, and the discussions revisited whenever the event was mentioned. The Celine fashion show earned a quiet legacy, not because of controversy, but because of a moment that felt sincere, fleeting, and beautifully incomplete. In the end, this chapter serves as a reminder that some stories resonate not because they reveal everything, but because they leave space for imagination. Taehyung and Suzy's brief shared presence became a mirror reflecting the curiosity of those watching. And as fashion seasons change and new events take center stage, this moment remains softly etched in memory, an elegant pause in time that continues to invite wonder without ever demanding an answer.